Okay, I've been going back through and reviewing some of my older footage. This isn't that old, it's from the beginning of the year. Uh, but um, my camera height's fairly low. I'm usually 28 inches, um, sitting right next to the observation deck at Pine Island. So I know where my location is. Um, Approximately camera height, less than 6 feet, guarantee you that. Tide wasn't that low this particular day, obviously, because I don't see the rocks sticking up in any of the other footage that I got. So I know I'm not on a low tide, an extreme low tide. But one of the other things that I've been doing is I've been comparing some of this to my navigation maps. Now I got one that shows the more inshore bird racks. So when I started looking at this, I noticed that I had actually found another rack that I don't normally see due to the atmospheric effects that we see over the water. Obviously, all of these islands are pretty much visible, all of them, and you can actually see the land where there's very little sliver, especially from the distance that I'm filming at. And here's that little spot that I'm always filming with boats in front of it sometimes. But what I noticed was, even at full zoom here, these islands don't look as big as they do on some of my other footage. So in other words, we're not only getting this mirroring effect that blocks us out, but we're also getting magnification, which also will block distant objects out, just due to it being magnified, pulled closer. Everything beyond that visible water line, when you have this magnification, actually gets pulled down. It does not get pulled up. It's pretty obvious when I'm reviewing and searching back through some of my footage, especially some of my footage back toward Crystal River Power Plant. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and find this little spot that I had noticed in the video following this, or just before this. I'd seen this little spot, and I said, huh, that rack to the left there is the halfway point from Bayport. If I was at Bayport, that would be the halfway marker right there. And then, of course, on some of my other footage, I got boats going in here that actually look like they vanish. And, and they are bigger. And that's one of the things that I'm looking at, is seeing this magnification in a lot of my footage. Now, this footage is a little grainy because it was getting darker. And that's something, too, I noticed, that some days it gets darker faster out on the horizon, and then other days it doesn't. But that goes for the filtering of the light of the sun with the clouds. Um, I do also think that the angle of light coming in and the amount of light does play also a role in how far we can see, our visibility limits. And that's something too I wanted to talk about, was visibility limits. Our angular resolution is better when our visibility is better, of course. Okay. So it kind of dictates our angular resolution as far as visibility limits go. But the main thing is finding this rack right here and say, huh, it's between that halfway point and the Bill Watts rack. Okay, because the next rack I'm going to come up to is Bill Watts. But when I go to my map and I look from Pine Island to this rack, it's either Gomez's Rock or the Arapica rack. Either one of them, it's 6 miles, a little over 6 miles to this rack. I think it's actually the Arapica rack, because I don't think Gomez's Rock has a light on it. So if it's Arapica rack, it is over 6 miles. And this is something that you can check yourself. How far could a 6-foot man see to the horizon?
3 miles. Here's a summary from Live Science. The horizon is a little more than 3 miles away.
But already less than 6 feet tall, I'm seeing something that's 6 miles away.
That is the watts. Huh. Thought I seen something right there. The air and the water temperature are almost the same. There's what I've been calling Billy Steele's.
But that was actually the Hernando Beach rack. I wanted to bring that up. And in this footage, I do get all these bird racks, even Cutter's Rock at 11.05 miles from this location. Um, and this is something that I've been trying to confirm and make sure of. And that's why I'm going to probably take this footage and make another video using my navigation maps to show people, that this should be impossible on a globe. On a spinning ball, this should not be possible.
And that's what I think is Billy Steele's. Well, should have brought my other camera so I could have just let it roll on the horizon here. Zoom back here a little bit. Okay. That's Bayport. And I've got another light out here that I've gotten on taking pictures. Oh, bugs, bugs, bugs. That is Cutter's Rock right there. That is Cutter's Rock. Okay, I'm gonna zoom back. You can see that is Cutter's, and it is just to the back side of this one sign here, right there to the left. It's just to the right of that. And let me back up here and let you look at that beautiful sky right here. That is actually gorgeous, but let me go back in here because I want to show you that straight out in front of me should be another rack, and this other rack is the north rack. That's not the north rack. Let me take and show you the north rack. And look at that kaleidoscope sky.
I have other videos that actually are actually a little bit better than this. So, again, as I'm searching through or reviewing, going back through all my footage, I got like almost 4 years of footage where I've been studying this horizon, studying these effects that we get caused by, these are atmospheric weather conditions that cause us to have an illusion of a curve. If you ask me, in my honest opinion, that is what is occurring. Things do get drawn down. Things can get stretched upward a little bit. And what I mean by that is anything that is visible in your line of sight, if you have this expansion and contraction that I've seen in some of my footage, what it's telling me basically is it's there, but it's just so small that you can't see it. And this little bit of stretching that it does is not refraction. It is just like a mirroring effect that causes things to get stretched. And when they get stretched upward, it makes it a little more visible. All right, I'm going to continue on. And this is almost to the end of the video where I catch the north rack. So I've got 7 racks that I filmed in this video. 8 if you include the halfway marker rack. But I don't normally include that as one of the racks. But here's the north rack.
That's the north rack. And I'm running out of light. But it is very hard to count those flashes at this long distance. Heck, I'm wondering if I can get the Chassahowiska.
Again, I'll be doing more research on this. I'm also going to try to get my maps out and show um, the the nautical miles or the statute miles and use that to prove the distance of these racks because they are marked on my navigation maps. So hopefully I can use those, use that to make a video and give more proof to this. You're not going to see this unless it's in my line of sight. And this is not refraction pulling something up from beyond the curve. Thanks for watching, folks. Much appreciate all the new subscribers. Feel free to use my video, mirror it if you like. I appreciate y'all watching.